Hi guys, I hope everybody is having a great night. I am Dr. Heather Moore, owner of Total Performance Physical Therapy. We are going to talk about sudden shoulder pain without injury. So what happens when you get that sharp pain kind of right here down the arm? I'm not talking about the numbness and tingling that goes into your fingers. That's something totally different. We're going to talk about that a little later, but I'm talking about that sharp pain or that pain where you basically just go to raise your arm or you wake up and there's a really sharp pain. I'm not talking about the pain where you're lifting overhead or the pain where you're going and you're reaching for a weight and all of a sudden you feel pain or you fall and you have some type of injury that you can associate it with. That's not the type of pain I'm talking about. The type of pain I'm talking about is where you're reaching overhead. You're, you just go to do something where you open a door and all of a sudden you get a really sharp pain. So this could be a number of things, and this is what makes it a little bit more difficult to diagnose because there's so many complex things going on at the shoulder and at the neck. So it could be a little bit of everything. So it's important that you understand how much it could be going on and that you address it fairly quickly when it comes up. So what is that sharp pain? So, well, a lot of times what happens is you'll have a tendon or a ligament that can get caught in here and you'll feel a pinching pain. And it gets caught because a lot of times this type of posture, this type of roundedness, this type of hovering. And when you hover, this opening, that's a little bit of, not a little bit, this is a lot of an exaggeration, but this opening closes off and it winds up pinching at some of those tendons, some of those ligaments. So you can wind up with that really sharp pain, may radiate down to maybe the middle of your arm. But a lot of times what happens is you'll just kind of sit up real quick and then, you'll go to do the same movement and it will be resolved. Or what happens is you'll wake up and maybe you'll take a shower, you'll kind of shake it out and then it will be resolved. Whenever you have that pain, though, you want to really make sure that you are addressing it because it is important to understand that sharp pain is generally the sign of something else going wrong, something else happening. So it's usually the first sign of something occurring. So you don't want to ignore it. You don't want to just say, oh, thank gosh, it went away. It's really important that you address it when it happens. Find out why you're getting that sharp pain. If you watch our videos, Total Performance Physical Therapy, you're going to find a ton of stuff on posture, on shoulder pain, on shoulder exercises that you're going to be able to do, and that it can help you with this. But one of the things with shoulder pain and any type of shoulder pain is your posture. So you just want to roll your shoulders up, back, and drop them down. This puts your shoulder in a really good position and allows that space that's there in between the bones to open up. It allows your neck to be in good posture. So it's important that you kind of do this throughout the day to check and make sure that you are, in fact, in good posture. What you don't want to do is you don't want to continue to ignore any sharp pains. It's a really big sign of something going on. And I know people like to ignore it because it might cost more money or time, or you might need surgery or injections. And the truth of the matter is, the sooner you get it treated, the less likely it is to require surgery or to need injections. So this type of pain is usually an inflammation. It's usually just something getting caught, but you have to address it. You got to take care of it. Otherwise, you're going to get some major pains going on down the road. Now, one of the things that we talked about earlier, that numbness and tingling. What happens if you get numbness and tingling going all the way down your arm, that numbness and tingling into your fingers? Well, what that is some type of nerve involvement. And exactly what? I don't know. Could be coming from your neck, could be coming from a nerve getting entrapped somewhere in your neck, in your armpit, but that is not something to ignore at all. It is really important that you address any sort of nerve issue, which is that numbness and tingling, maybe burning into your fingers, because that can lead to weakness. That can lead to fine motor problems, meaning you're dropping coffee cups, you're having trouble typing. Those little fine motor skills are really hard to do. So you don't want to ignore that numbness and tingling. Again, what can help immediately is fixing that posture. You always want to make sure that you fit your environment around your good posture. You don't fit your posture to your environment. So with so many people working from home, a lot of us have adapted our laptops or adapted our posture to our laptops, and we all hunch over. And that's not okay. You want to make sure that anything that you do, you roll your shoulders back up and drop them down. This is where your environment lives. So whether you get separate keyboard, separate mouse, whatever, having that separation, having this be your space is going to help with that sharp pain. Could there be a tear in there? Sure. Usually, though, that pain won't last too long if it's not a tear. If it is a tear, you're going to actually lose some range of motion. So, again, it's not something that you want to just kind of blow off and say, oh, not a big deal, because any sort of sudden pain without an injury is alarming, and you do want to address it. So, it could be a tendonitis, could be a bunch of things going on, but it's usually just pain that comes down into here, and then sometimes if you get that numbness and tingling, again, it could be that entrapment. So what can you do? So we talked about posture, roll your shoulders up, back, and dropping them down. Now what you want to do is you could also do your shoulder squeezes, okay, where you're just squeezing your shoulders back, squeezing your shoulder blades together, nice and easy. You want to make sure that you are pinching your shoulder blades back and down, not up. And you can do that throughout the day. That's not really meant to be a weighted exercise. You can certainly do that with bands or weights if you want, but that's more of a just these muscles get weak, and so do the muscles in your back as you continuously sit like this or you sit on your phone like this. So just allowing this every hour to kind of strengthen. You don't have to do a ton of reps with it. You just want to make sure everything is opening up and making sure that that posture is able to be maintained. The last exercise you want to do is more of like a chin tuck. All right, you just want to keep your chin nice and level, and you want to just tuck it back and then bring it all the way forward, and then tuck it back and then bring it all the way forward. What you don't want to do is look down. That's not the exercise, and you don't want to look up at the ceiling, okay? You want to keep it nice and level and just kind of move forward and then move back, nice and easy. Making sure that you're keeping that head level and you're not changing anything with your neck. That's going to allow all the structures in your neck to stretch out, which is going to allow the muscles that attach at your shoulder to relax. If you or someone you know is suffering with shoulder pain and wants a free consultation with a doctor of physical therapy, all you have to do is call our office at 215-997-9898, and we'd be happy to get you in. Thanks, and have a good night.